दुईटा होना चाहिए ज्ञान तुम. Have you written any Pushpanjali? No? No Pushpanjali? क्या घास काट रहा था? कहा था ना पहले. Have you written any Pushpanjali? What? You are cutting grasses?
No.
Then why? I told you.
If I have,
Eh?
I can.
But I told that you should request all to write in. So you should speak. Today is the birthday of our Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishnu Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. On the birthday of Gurudev, in our disciplic order, we make Vyas Puja. So, we will glorify and offer Pushpanjalis by glorifying him. आगे से ये सब करके नहीं रखता, हम आएंगे तब करेगा. पुंडरीक महाराज जी हैं ना, now you can glorify him. Pushpanjali. लो गिराओ थोड़ा थोड़ा, जितना आफत आज कर लो सब.
नमां विष्णुपदाय आचार्य सिंहरूपिणे श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशवा वंशकापकुरुपुष्पसिंहदेव पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः. Today is the very auspicious appearance day of Nitya Leela Pratishtha Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. We have all come together here to hear the glorification of this most auspicious.
Oh, Prabhu can come here. Oh, you should come forward. Come more. Go.
The most auspicious eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, coming in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, being the very intimate and dear associate of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So before speaking, I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Gurudev, Om Vishnupada Srila Srimad Bhakti Prajnana Gosvami Maharaja, and my humble omnibus unto all the devotees present. Actually, it is very difficult to properly glorify such a great personality unless one is on the level of transcendence, meaning that one is situated on the platform of pure devotional service. One cannot properly glorify the eternal associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha Krishna, who are eternally liberated, always engaged fully in serving their lordships. So according to my ability, I will try to offer my Pushpanjali. Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaja appeared in this world 101 years ago. He appeared in a family, aristocratic family of landowners, those who had a lot of property. And from his early days after appearing in this world, he did not speak. He was silent for quite some time. And his mother and aunties, they became very worried. Everyone became worried why he did not speak, why he did not utter anything. Then one guest arrived at the house, and he suggested that you may go to some low-caste families who live nearby and ask them for some of the remnants of the food that they have, and then you give it to your Bhima, and you will see after that he will start speaking. So, mother and aunties, they realized that we may have to do this, although they could not really conceive the importance or the magic about this. But anyway, they went to these families, and it happened to be that the family they approached was a Vaishnava family. Even though they were low caste, they were always engaged in devotional activities. And they offered some remnants of their cooked rice to mother of Bhima, and took it home and offered it to the boy. And at that time, after taking some of these grains, he started to speak, and all became very happy. So this is a very wonderful thing, that he would not utter anything before he would receive some prasad from Vaishnava devotees. So after growing up, at young age, he would go to school and study in school even with the professors, Chaitanya Charitamrita and other books. And he found that the teachers, they could not properly teach him about the things which they were discussing. So he felt that this education is not really going to help me much in the sense of getting a proper education, and he became so much attracted to be with Srila Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada. He had met Srila Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada, his devotees, and he was still in school at that time. So then after going on for some time in school, he decided to fully join, and not that he hadn't joined already, but to fully live with the devotees in the mat. And he left his family, lived in the mat, and became one of the very dear associates, Vaishnavas in the mat, always serving Srila Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada's mission in so many, many ways. Then one time, there was a message coming from his family that his mother was very sick, and they requested Bino to come and be with his mother whilst he would leave her body. And Srila Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada said, yes, you should go and be with your mother. At once you should go. She has requested this, and it is proper that you should go there. Then, at that time, Vinod Brahmachari, the name of Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaja, he could not really go to his family. He didn't feel that he should go. He was worried. So he hid himself anywhere, and after some time one day or so, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, has Vinod Brahmachari gone to his mother? The devotees asked, replied that no, he is somewhere, in mud, hiding, So please call him at once. So Vinod Brahmachari came to his Guru Maharaj, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada asked, why you did not go to your mother? I requested you, I told you you should go and be with her. Then Vinod Brahmachari, he started to cry. And he said to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj, that after so many lifetimes, I have come and I have been so fortunate to be in the association of your good self, of bona fide Vaishnavas. This is the real goal of the existence for the living entity in this material world. And I am so much worried if I would go to my mother and at the last breath of her life she would request me, oh, my dear son, please you look after all the properties of our family, then I cannot refuse. So I could not really make the decision to go and be with my mother at this time. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada became so happy and blessed him. At another occasion, we all heard about the glorious activities of Srila Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, one of the prominent acharyas in our Gaudiya Vaishnava line. He is the spiritual master of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And he was the epitome or the wonderful example of renunciation. He did not like to mix with anyone who was not interested in Krishna Bhakti, pure Bhakti. Therefore, he always avoided to be in contact with worldly-minded people residing in Navadvip, and sometimes he would lock himself up so that no one would disturb his bhajan. At one time he had locked himself into the latrine for many days. Everyone became so much worried and asked him, oh, Babaji Maharaj, please come outside, it is not a fit place for you to do your bhajan. Then Srila Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj would answer that the smell of materialistic people is so bad that I prefer to be in the smell of the latrine, and do my bhajan here. Please leave me alone. No, please open the door. We want you to come. We will help you to get a good place where you can do your bhajan. Then Srila Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj would reply, I am so much weak, I don't feel good, I cannot open the door. Please leave me alone. So this went on for quite some time, many days. Then one day, Vinod Brahmachari and one of his godbrothers, both disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, came and visited, came to see Srila Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj. They knocked on the door and said, we are here. Oh, Babaji Maharaj, please give us your darshan. We have come from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. We are his shishyas, his disciples. Srila Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj became so happy. At once he opened the door and said, please, oh, you are disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? Come inside, quickly. And they came, and Srila Gorkishore Babaji was so happy to see them. He gave blessing. He closed the door quickly and let them in. And he said, oh, I'm so happy to see you. And at that time he gave his blessings to Vinod Brahmachari that whatever obstacles will come in the practice of devotional service, I will take all the burden on my head. Don't worry. So Vinod Brahmachari was so much blessed by the association and the benedictions of such great personalities as Srila Gaura Bhavaji Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada. His life was so exemplary that we can learn how to properly follow in the footsteps of the eternal associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and understand what it means to practice Krishna consciousness in the situation that we are in. How Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj was so expert and so soft-hearted and so kind to establish Sri Gauriya Vedanta Samiti. He established Sri Gauriya Vedanta Samiti together with Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj in 1941. After the departure of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, there was so much chaos and turmoil in Gaudiya Math. But Vinod Brahmachari, he was very fixed, one-pointed, went on to depend on Krishna, Mahaprabhu's mercy, to continue the mission of his Gurudev. So at that time, 1941, establishing Sri Gauriya Vedanta Samiti, starting to preach all over India, not starting but by the institution, establishing so many other mats in due course of time, preaching all over India. We are now so fortunate to have the opportunity to also become part of the family of the Gaudiya Vaishnava family. All of us being born in Western countries, Eastern countries, being so unfortunate, not knowing what really pure bhakti is, pure religion, pure devotion. Now we have come in the association of real, eternal associates of Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha Krishna, and we are able to receive the blessings on these auspicious moments particularly, but all day, every day, we can remember the glorious appearance of great Vaishnavas, our Gurudev, and today we are celebrating the appearance of our Param Gurudev. So on these moments we can particularly pray for a special benediction, a special mercy, that we become perfect in our attempts to become pure devotees, eternal associates, always engaged in loving devotional services to Guru and Vaishnavas.
Sri Nanda Kishore Prabhu, will you speak to us?
Nama Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja Charitaya Swasitana Chapaline Jiva Duge Adaya Chinama Premadayane. So we just heard some very beautiful stories, some pastimes by Bhajanath Prabhu.
Very good.
Describing the glorious character and personality of Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. When Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj took his birth, it's described how he was glowing very brightly. So he had a nickname of Jonah, which means glowworm. And from his birth, as Bhajanath Prabhu was describing, there were many auspicious signs about his body. He was an extremely beautiful child. It's described how his arms were long and he had very artistic fingers, and his body was very soft. And Gurudev described once in Rup Sanatan how the Vaishnavas come only to see the good in everybody. And he described this in relationship to Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj. So, when Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj was very young, maybe 12, 13 years old, in school, they had a group of boys who would make collections and help needy people. And at that time, Bhima was in the charge of his mother primarily. And she was very firm, disciplinary lady. And on this one particular day, Bhima arrived home late. And his mother was very, very worried. Every day he would come home at a certain time, but this time he was very, very late. So she was waiting with one stick to chastise and correct her son. And then when Bhima came, he was prepared to accept that chastisement. But then his mother was questioning him, well, where were you? And then he was explaining that one particular lady in the village was very sick and in need, and he had taken that time to go and help her and help her family. So his mother became very pleased with this. So he would do many merciful activities in the very early days of his life, which would continue into his later years, of course, with his maturity. And when he came to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, there was a time when his aunt was with him, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was saying that he would create mutts all over the world. And his aunt was saying, well, this is a bit of a dream. Who will actually do this? Well, how can you do this? You have nothing at this time. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada Maharaj, he said that my Vinod, he will take care of this. Because he had full confidence in Vinod's brahmachari's managing abilities, as well as his deep sense of understanding Siddhanta and Bhakti. So he was very near and dear to his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And our Gurudev, Srila Narayan Maharaj, he has described many times of the intimate relationship that he also had with his Gurudev. And this is described as Vishrambar Seva. So this word Vishrambar, Vigita, the meaning of this word Vishrambar, we can break it into two. It's Vigita means devoid of, and Shrambar means any awe and reverence. So this Vishrambar Seva is paramount importance for the sadhaka on this path to bhakti, to understand Radha and Krishna, to link up as a servant of Srimati Radharani. So it's very essential for us to hear the pastimes of our Gurudev with his Gurudev in that intimacy, how he would, it's described, Gurudev has described how sometimes he would jump on the same bed with his Gurudev, and he would help him write together. They were very near and dear like that. There wasn't this Aishwarya between them. They were very intimate. At the same time, of course, there is that foundation of very deep respect. Not that it was ever familiar, but it was pure love. It was a deeply loving relationship. So Gurudev has spoken about this many times. And when I meditate on Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj, I always think of his very softness, his great gentility, his great mercy, his sweetness in his relationship with our Gurudev, and his sweetness in his relationship with all the devotees in the mat, how he would take care of them personally. He would look after them so well. He would help manage them so well. He would always be so extraordinarily humble. And he would understand the mind and heart of his Gurudev. The story of when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, he wanted one of the devotees to leave from the temple. He had been causing some problem. and he called Vinod Brahmachari to please remove this devotee who had been making a difficulty for the other devotees. So Vinod Brahmachari, he didn't say anything, he just left, and he went and he hid in one room. And he didn't do anything about that. He didn't carry out the instruction of his Gurudev. And then in the evening, it was understood by the other devotees that he was still in the mud. So they complained to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, and then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he called Vinod Brahmachari. He said, "Why you didn't follow my instruction? I said you should remove this devotee." And Vinod Brahmachari, he said that I know your heart is so soft that your real desire was not actually to remove this devotee. I know that if I had done this, you would have called me and you would have lamented doing this action. So I'm understanding that because of your mercy, you are too much merciful to do this. So I declined to carry out that instruction. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he was extremely pleased on the integrity and perception of his disciple. Not that his disciple would just follow blindly, but his disciple, Srila Vinod Brahmachari, would very diligently look into the heart of his Gurudev, Manobishtam, and meditate on what was his inner desire, and in this way truly endeavor to please his Gurudev and serve his Gurudev. So with that mood, he could come very close, and this Vishrambhar Seva, with the highest aspiration always could be achieved by Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj for his Gurudev, and our Gurudev for his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj. So this mood of mercy, I always remember at this time when I offer this homage to Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj.
Vrindavan Vilasini, Didi will speak to us. No harm if you are sitting, because you are too old and you cannot stand, so you can sit. No harm.
No, I'm too scared. I'll fall over. First, I'd like to offer my most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my Diksha Guru, A.C. Bhakti Swami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti, and next to my Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhakti Narayan Maharaj, and then to my Param Guru Dev, Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj, and then to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. And I'd like to beg your forgiveness because I get so nervous speaking in front of crowds. I'll do the best I can. And I tried to write something, but I'm a terrible writer, so I scratched it out about 10 times. So I'll try. When I think of my Param Guru Dev, I'm so grateful because he has been so instrumental in manifesting the internal desire of Mahaprabhu as enunciated by Srila Rupa Goswami. He explained in his Radha Vinod Bahari Astakam who Mahaprabhu really is. Mahaprabhu is Krishna. He's Krishna when he's in deep separation from Srimati Radharani, and then his hue turns golden. Or when he's being embraced by Srimati Radharani, in deep meditation, his body turns golden. This is Mahaprabhu. No one else is really revealed in such a beautiful way who is Mahaprabhu. And the rest of this Astakam explains in depth the tattva of Mahaprabhu. But in this Astakam, it doesn't so much explain what our position is in relationship to Mahaprabhu and in relationship to Radha and Krishna. But by his immense mercy, which is explained in his pranam mantra, which explains that whoever took shelter of him, or takes shelter, not took, he's always with us. Whoever takes shelter of him, he nourishes with extreme devotion, with extreme affection and love, just like a father or a loving guardian. And he's always thinking about the suffering of the living entities and giving naam with praying. So what did he do? He understood the innermost desire of Rupa Goswami as coming down through Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his Gurudev, which was that this Unnat Ujjvala Rasam Swa Bhakti Shriyam should be spread all over the world. And so he encouraged our beloved A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to take sannyas and encouraged him to preach all over the world and to set a foundation so that our beloved Shiksha Guru Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj could come and break open the storehouse of praying, Braj praying, and speak it openly like no one else has ever done before. No one else has ever spoken so openly, and he is a direct disciple of our Param Gurudev. He's spoken in English to the most fallen persons, the highest Vilap Kushmanjali of Raghunath Das Goswami. Srimad Bhagavatam commentary that Vishnupada Srila Thakur explaining our real, the proper mood to approach Radha and Krishna as a fallen jiva soul, the mood of a manjari. This is the most kindest mercy that he could have done. We don't deserve it, and we're completely overwhelmed by how merciful he is, and we're so grateful that he has sent both Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj and Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. But they're coming because of him. He has inspired us. Thank you.
Sripad Rishikesh Maharaj, can you speak 2 words?
One significant pastime which I heard before, which was not mentioned by Prajnana Prabhu or Prajnana Keshava Prabhu, which struck me as very significant, and that was that he was constantly going out trying to collect funds for the mott as a young boy of 16 or 17. And one day, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked Vinod Brahmachari, who was out collecting and who had, in his exhaustion, laid down for some rest. And he used to have what I understand, a box that he collected in. And he was using it for a pillow. Bhaktisiddhanta began to cry. And he told I think it was a driver with him, and he said, how can I engage such a young boy? What kind of repayment? How do I deserve this kind of service? And he's so exhausted that he's stretched out, exhausted from collecting. So later that evening, when Vinod Brahmachari returned, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur chanced to meet him, and he told, I can't remember exactly. Can you remember for me? He told something that he felt so bad that yes, what is it? He felt so good. He was, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was telling how he was feeling some remorse.
Decided like
Yes.
And Sat Bhute.
Yes.
Like
And Vinod Brahmachari was
so much like
I'm so fortunate to be able to do this service.
why like prince. We are shot like
So he never gave the key of the box, but he gave also key. And then he used to tell, he never called any his disciple like you, tum and tumi, but to him only, and one disciple more, Paramananda Prabhu. They were a special servant of their Guru. Then he became so pleased and happy, and he showed mercy.
The other thing which was omitted, which I caught, was that, and I don't know the details, it was just a mention, but I thought it was significant, that Vinod Brahmachari used to sleep in the same room with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And when he would come in at night, back from doing the collections for the month, maybe it would be very late, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had already taken rest. And Vinod Brahmachari, the door would be locked, so he would go and knock at the door. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would have to get up from his sleep to open the door. And the other disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur were chastising, or were at least talking amongst themselves that this is improper. How can this brahmachari come and wake up our Gurudev like this? But it was told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur never complained, and he always opened the door and welcomed Brahmachari. So how do we know who is Vinod Brahmachari? Well, how high such a wonderful child of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Thank you.
Again,
Prayojan. Essence, not so much.
ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय आचार्यसिंहरूपिणे श्रीमद्भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशवेति नामिने अतिमार्चाचरित्राय स्वश्रितानं च पारिणे जीवदुःखे सदायताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pushpanjali thousands of times with faith and affection at the lotus feet of my Guru Padma Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Gosvami Maharaja. Secondly, on the auspicious day of his Vyasa Puja, offer my pranam at the lotus feet of my beloved Param Gurudev, Nityalila Vishnom Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj. I give my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Guru Varga and to all assembled Vaishnavas. Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj was such an exemplary Vaishnava. He was so brilliant in all fields of activity. Even in his life before coming to the mat, he was expert in his studies. He was a brilliant scholar. He was a brilliant sports personality. He was expert in managing and dealing with people. He was even expert in fighting. He was, at the time of when the British were ruling in India, he became a member of the revolutionary force of Subhash Chandra Bose, and he was hiding in the jungles with a rifle and a knife. And the British government, they issued a warrant for his arrest. And even 10 years later, they were searching for him after he'd come to the shelter of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And one day, the British police force came to the mutt and with the warrant for the arrest of Vinod Brahmachari. But at that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur protected him, and by his very powerful arguments persuaded them. But can't you see? He's become a sadhu. How he's completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and only serving the Supreme Lord and Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. So then, being convinced, they went away. So he was so expert in all things, even at the age of 16, he was managing all the land and the tenants of his which belonged to his family. And then when he came to the Gaudiya Math, he was managing the Gaudiya Math in such a wonderful way that during the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to give sannyas, the renounced order of life, to Vinod Brahmachari, and all the arrangements were made. But at the last moment, the devotees came to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and said, please don't do this, because if you give him sannyas, then he will not be doing all of the duties of managing and making all the arrangements for the daily life and for the preaching of the Math. And therefore, without Vinod Brahmachari, who is so essential and indispensable in our Gaudiya Math, everything will fall apart. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he did not give him sannyas. But this is quite apparent. We know that Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj has taken sannyas from Srila Bhakti Prajnana Gosvami Maharaja. But we shall see also, in a deeper sense, that he has received sannyas from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. How is that? Once Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was doing program and preaching in Navadvip. And because of his very strong preaching, breaking apart all of the misconceptions of Apasiddhanta, of the Apasampradayas, such as caste Brahmins, Owls, Bowls, Garanga Nagaris, Sakiviks, Kartabhaja, Nedi, Dharavesha, and all Apasampradayas. So one group of his detractors, they made a plan that they would attack him. So a very violent mob came with sticks and stones and knives, and they began to stone Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And it was a very dangerous condition. Their intention was to kill him. So in that time, many devotees were afraid and running here and there. But Vinod Brahmachari was not at all afraid for his own life, but rather, forsaking his own safety, he just tried to protect Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he took him out from the street into the room of one nearby building, and there by force, he took the cloth, the sannyas cloth of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and dressed himself in Srila Prabhupada's own cloth, and gave his own cloth to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Also he took danda.
His danda and his
Prabhupada gave him.
All things. So Srila Vinod Brahmachari at that time, he was Brahmachari, but he would wear white cloth. But he was very tall, and he looked quite similar to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So when they exchanged their cloth, then everyone would think that he was actually Srila Prabhupada. And then Srila Prabhupada could escape, and then the very violent mob would come and they would kill him. So somehow or other, by the grace of Guru and Gauranga, Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they both escaped from this very dangerous situation unharmed. But here we see.
He sent Prabhupada to Mayapur very secretly, and he was there. When he heard that he has reached to Mayapur, then he came. In the meantime, police came. But police always supporting other groups But anyhow, he came to Mayapur priest.
So here we see the example of the disciple, how he is willing to sacrifice everything, even his own life, what to speak of once, but hundreds of times, for the pleasure of his Gurudev. So Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj is so exemplary in this regard. Also, there are many pastimes of Param Gurudev, how he was such a wonderful preacher and always so fearless. Once upon a time, he was traveling in Bengal with a few brahmacharis, and they were making a collection for the Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. And at that time, there was terrible flood disaster in that area, and many of the farms were ruined, many people were made homeless, many people, they had no money, they had no food, they had no cloth, they had no homes to live in. And at that time, Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj, with a small group of brahmacharis, was moving around that area through the devastation and making some collection when Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. And inviting everyone, please come and perform this most auspicious Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, whereby one can receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
They can take food for 10 days and all arrangements will be done by us.
Nothing to do, everyone can come, no money to be expended, and everyone will be taken care of so nicely. So, in the course of moving around this area, they bumped into another party who were out preaching their philosophy. This was the Communist Party of Bengal, and the leader of the Communist Party of Bengal was there, walking around with his so many associates. And when he met with Param Gurudev, he was so agitated because he was such an atheist. He was such an atheist, and he detested sadhus, seeing danda, seeing the red cloth, and these things. He became very agitated and angry. And he said to Param Gurudev, "What are you doing here? Have you come here to alleviate the suffering of the people, to help them with food and clothing, and to make very nice social arrangements so that everyone can be happy? What are you doing here?" Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj replied, "We have come here to preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we're making some collection and inviting everyone to come to the Navadvip Mandal Parikrama." So then the leader of the Communist Party of Bengal, he became so angry, and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Are you mad? Can you not see the people? They are without food, they are without clothing, they are without homes, they are in need of help, they are in need of donations, and you have come here and you're asking them to give donations. Can you not see the great terrible flood?" Then Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj, he looked around and he said, "What flood? What are you talking about? Where is the flood?" Even though there was so much devastation everywhere. He said, "Where is the flood? I cannot see any flood. You're speaking of a flood, but even the fire in the end of your cigarette has not been extinguished." He was smoking a cigarette. "What kind of flood is this? Even the fire in your cigarette has not been extinguished." He said, "In this world, the jivas are rotating in the cycle of birth and death, without any relief. They have no chance of relief. And after many births and deaths, then the time comes when the whole universe is destroyed in the pralaya. That means actually there's a flood, the cosmic devastation, when the water rises up from the bottom of the universes and all the planetary systems become submerged in the waters of devastation." So Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj said, "We have come here to save the people from this flood. This is actually the flood from which they should be saved. And there were many persons like you in the past who tried to do so much welfare work for the people, but because they did not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they did not recognize that we are all the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they were all ruined. We see in the histories of our Veda, Vedanta and Puran so many great personalities who were very religious, like Duryodhana, like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and Ravan. and they wanted to make a very ideal society. Yet they were devoid of the service tendency for the Supreme Lord, and they were all destroyed. And many other atheistic leaders, such as Mussolini, Hitler, Napoleon, and others, they have tried to make a very perfect society, but they all came to a very sticky end. And so if you follow in their footsteps, and try to establish some social order, but without recognizing the supremacy of the Supreme Lord and engaging everyone in the service of the Lord, then you can know that you are going along the road to complete disaster. So hearing the very strong and uncompromising preaching and conceptions of Param Gurudev, the leader of the Communist Party of Bengal, he was struck dumb. He was unable to speak. And being very angry, agitated and embarrassed, he immediately left that place. He went out from that place.
And that prominent leader was Jyoti Basu. Oh, still he is Chief Minister of Bengal. But he used to fear from our Gurudev.
So, from Gurudev, there are so
we
many...
will hear so much text in evening.
Yes.
So, little everyone.
So, I want to spend more time on these types of pastimes, but I would like to express something to my limited ability in appreciation of Param Gurudev's very deep realization of the heart of his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We have heard how Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj, he was so surrendered, always working very hard, and in this way the heart of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was always melting to give mercy to his very dear disciple, how they were so intimate. And so, being fully the receiver of the mercy of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj has expressed the inner moods of our sampradaya to the world. He has written that in his Radha Vinod Bihari Tadvastikam, he has written that Radha Chinta Niveshena Yashikanti Vilopita Shri Krishnam Charanam Bande Radha Lingita Vigraham, that I am praying to the lotus feet of that Krishna who Radha Chinta Niveshena, who is feeling the acute pangs of separation from Srimati Radharani, and therefore, feeling the acute pang of separation from Srimati Radharani, he has assumed a golden complexion. So we see in the mats of Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, the deities are there, Sri Radha Vinod Bihari. And here we always see that Krishna has a white form. And it's very significant also that Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, the founder of Charva ISKCON, also followed in the moods of Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj in installing in many places around the world the white deity of Krishna. In this way, expressing how he is fully in agreement and fully received the conceptions of Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj. To see that those who are in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, those who are doing bhajan in the mood of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, it is not their desire to think how Srimati Radhika is feeling separation from Krishna, how she is crying in separation from Krishna, how she is always rendering service to Krishna. But rather, those in the camp of Srila Rupa Goswami will always think how Krishna, he is feeling separation from Srimati Radhika, how Krishna is crying in separation from Srimati Radhika, and how Krishna is always overwhelmed with eagerness to render whatever little service he can for the pleasure of Srimati Radhika. So, in this way, we can see how Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj has made a very wonderful contribution in expressing the internal moods of his Gurudev and of his whole sampradaya in this world. So, we know that when Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj would go to the samadhi of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, after his disappearance, he was put in samadhi in Mayapur. So when he would go there, on parikrama, accompanied by thousands and thousands of devotees. Even though he was in the company of thousands and thousands of devotees, still he was unable to check his very deep, loving moods, and unable to hide the deep feelings of separation that he felt from his Gurudev. He would come there, and even he would be able to utter the name Prabhupada, only saying Prabhu, and then his voice would become choked up, and Ashtasattvic bhavs would manifest in his body, and he would be unable to speak. So, and then somehow or other he would just indicate to any other devotees, yes, you go on speaking, because I am unable to speak. So this is really the symptom of the disciple. Just like Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, after the disappearance of Srila Rupa Goswami, he has prayed, Sunyayate Mahagostam Garindro Jagarayate Jagaratundayate Kundam Jivatura Hitasyame. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has prayed, oh, my Prabhu, oh Rupa Goswami, when you were in this world, then at that time, Vrindavan was such a source of joy and happiness for me. But now you have gone, this Vrindavan seems like shunya, like an empty, desolate void. When you were here, then I was so happy to have the darshan of Giriraj Govardhan. I have written so many prayers glorifying Govardhan. But now you are no longer here. Then Govardhan seems like a python, poised to devour me. And Radhakund, I had taken shelter of Radhakund as my only hope. But, O Rupa Goswami Pad, now you are not here. Then Radhakund seems like the gaping mouth of a tigress waiting to devour me. So in this way, everything which once was a source of pleasure for Srila Raghunath Das Goswami now became a source of intense pain due to separation from his beloved Gurudev, Srila Rupa Goswami. So these are the symptoms of the bona fide disciple. If we are not feeling the intense separation from our Gurudev, then one cannot say that he is truly a disciple. So we see this in the life of Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Maharaj. He felt such high separation, such intense burning distress within his heart, that he was unable to even utter the name of his Gurudev without choking, without being overcome by these deep sentiments of separation. So this is the symptom of a real disciple. So on this day, I am praying at the lotus feet of Param Gurudev that he will bestow just one small sprinkle of his mercy, that I can also become such an exemplary disciple and try to serve the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev with only just a small fraction of his surrender and determination and intense attachment and feelings of love, and thereby my life may become a success. Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja ki jai.
Very good. All will be ready for evening at about 5. Naveen will speak 2 words. और 2-3 शब्द बोले, पुष्पांजलि तो दिए दो तब.
ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. गौराश्रय विग्रहाय कृष्णकामैकचारिणे प्रभुपदन्तरङ्गाय विनोदेति स्वरूपिणे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. First of all, I pay my humble obeisance in the lotus feet of my Guru Padma, and after that all Vaishnavas who assembled here to hear Harikatha about my Param Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishwan Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. Our Param Gurudev is so near and dear to Srila Prabhupada. He always keeps his life on his hand to offer for his service. You have heard just now how he protect Param Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Thakur during Navadi Parikrama, attracted by so many opposite groups. Some doubt may come, Prabhupada is eternal associate of Srila Sriman Mahaprabhu and divine couple. He could not escape his life, he could not protect his life. Why these pastimes took place at that time? Because Srila Prabhupada want to show the whole world how near and dear is Vinod Brahmachari for him, how he dedicated so much for him, she want to show the whole world. So he arranged these pastimes. Once Srila Bhakti Thakur asked Vinod Brahmachari, "Oh Vinod, can you rescue this bhajan kuti of Srila Bhakti Thakur?" My Param Guru replied, "Yes, if you order, by your blessing, everything is possible." At that time, it was controlled by Srila Prabhupada's youngest brother, Lalita Prasad. Param Gurudev asked some village men and asked them to take some stick, and what I shall instruct you will follow me only. Going there in Bhajan Kuti of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, you will jump with stick, not to beat anyone, and send someone as ahead that please inform Lalita Prasad that Vinod Brahmachari is coming here to take possession of this place. Hearing his Vinod Brahmachari's name, he ran away from that place without any effort. It come control in the hand of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Prabhupada. Prabhupada became very happy for this service. And as before these pastimes, all Mayapur was under control by Mohammedan, the Muslim person. Nowadays, that Jogpit, it was also controlled by Mohammedan.
Nowadays means?
Nowadays, Jogpit is nowadays, what is Jogpit? It was also controlled by Mohammedan. So, Param Gurudev, he arranged one.
Jogpit was in control of Muslims.
As before that area.
There was no temple.
Temple was there.
Then how they were controlling?
Jogpit and there is some land.
Where the Prabhupada's Samadhi is there, it was controlled, and there were so many burial grounds of Muslims there. So that place was under the control of Muslims.
So Param Gurudev once he arranged a boundary wall. Then Muslim came and asked, "Oh Babu, what you are doing?" Then Param Gurudev replied, "I am protecting this land for yourself only. Nothing to do here, because a graveyard place for yourself." As before, Param Gurudev arranged some plant, some tree, and once in night he took our graveyard and threw into Ganges and put that plant, some on 2 years, some are 5 years, some are 10 years like this, and make beautiful garden. Next day when they came and they saw there is no graveyard, it look like a garden, they complained to police against my Param Gurudev. Police came, but Param Gurudev is so bold that nothing is happened there. Param Gurudev told, "There is graveyard place. I never seen here. A temple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is garden. It is not." They told, "No, it changed in night." Then Param Gurudev asked police officer, "How it is possible in one night that it is some trees are 2 years, some 8 years, some 10 years? How it is possible? It is quite impossible. They are telling lie." Policeman think, "Yes, this is quite a fact. The garden not be made by on night, so it is quite impossible." So they told, "No, it is garden of this deity." And then Prabhupada served, then Param Gurudev served Srila Prabhupada in this way. Once, Param Pujyapad Bhakti Srila Gosvami Maharaja came to Mayapur, visit Mayapur. At that time, our Param Gurudev was in white cloth, and Vinod name was Vinod Brahmachari. always he used to sit under tree of jackfruit, sitting on chair, keeping his feet on table, always shaking. So Pujya Vasudhara Maharaj saw from far away one very tall figure, renounced person came and do pranam, not only pranam, full prostration pranam, and folded his hand, asked something. Param Gurudev in same position, sitting on chair, shaking his feet, keeping on the table, not doing pranam him also. And giving some order, he went away, again doing pranam. So he became astonished. Who is this great personality, being white cloth? So tall figure Sannasi came and did him pranam. Again he ordered him, went away. After that he came to know that this is Vinod Brahmachari, who is the manager of his whole property of Srila Prabhupada. Then he is impressed so much by Srila Param Gurudev. Another time, once so time is being over, so we shall discuss again in evening time. We shall hear something from Gurudev. In evening time we shall discuss is about fundamental thing like Vinodvaya Tattastakam, Mangal Arati, and Prabhupada Arati, Tulasi Arati, and Mayavad Jivan. We shall discuss everything in evening time. Hare Krishna. Pancha Kalpataru Pascha Kripa Sindhu Bhare Vacha Paditanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo.
You're writing.
To our dearest Param Gurudev, Sri Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. Today is the most auspicious Avirbhav Mahamahotsav of our most beloved and adored Param Gurudev, Sri Srila Bhakti Prajnana, Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. He is one of the foremost disciples of Sri Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and most dear to all the devotees of Gaudiya Math and beyond for his high degree of Vaishnava Siddhant and magnificent devotion. When I was a young man and I used to go to Mayapur for Gorpanim to see Srila Prabhupada Swami Maharaj, I would always sneak over the Ganga to Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math. I did not know anyone there at that time, but I would go simply to see the Samadhi of Srila Keshava Maharaj. I would stand there for a long time and offer prayers. I did not know much, only that he was the sannyas guru of my guru, Maharaj, and that I felt some very special attraction and affection for him. I would pray to him to please give me, guide me on this path of bhakti, and protect my fragile emotional creature. Some years later, I can see that he has mercifully brought me to the eternal shelter of his dearmost servitor, my beloved Shiksha Guru, Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Maharaj. Also we know that Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, as suggested by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, took initiation from Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj. Still he held Bhakti Vinod Thakur as his guru substantially. Formally, by the order of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he took Gaura Das Babaji as his guru. From what we know, however, he took Bhakti Vinod Thakur as his guru for the internal consideration. We find that his outside and inside was filled with Bhakti Vinod Thakur, not in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense. Also, consequently, this name, Vinod, was so dear to him that he inaugurated many maths, and we find that he named the deities Vinod Vilas, Vinod Pran, Vinod Ananda, and so on. It is no wonder then that he gave this name of Vinod Brahmachari,
it will be in the right side,
and later
right
Vinod
side,
Manjari, to his most beloved Shishya, and our most revered Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Gosvami Maharaja. On this day we pray, this most auspicious day, at His divine lotus feet, that He may so kindly bestow upon us a genuine greed and real aspiration to one day enter into the service proper of our divine Ishtadev, Srimati Radhika, as a servant of her maidservant, our most beloved Om Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Narayan Maharaj, and enter into that domain where all of our words, actions, and movements shall all be for her service. Your most insignificant and humble grand disciples, Champakalata Dasi and Kantashwar.
I'm so happy that Sripad Brajnath Prabhu, Nanda Keshava Prabhu, और दीदी वृंदावन विलासिनी प्रेम प्रयोजन राम किशोर प्रभु और श्रीपाद ऋषिकेश महाराज Naveen have glorified my Gurudev. And I wanted to tell so many things, but in the evening class I may tell something. But I am happy to hear. Very good, interesting, and powerful. All pastimes of our Gurudev, they have done. So I am really indebted to them for this. They reminded me so many things. You should know that he told that from boyhood was very bold, qualified, learned, and he used to go with his father. If there was any going on debate or classes of Gita, Bhagavad, and others, he used to attend all these things. His father and mother were disciples of very renowned Goswami. He was very famous. First he was Yogi, but afterward he took initiation in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So from boyhood, our Guru Maharaj was very religious minded. He used to write so many poems. He began to introduce one monthly magazine, only by handwriting, not in press. And how he was bold, you have heard from him. He became against British government and he joined the movement of Subhash Chandra Bose. After some time, at the age of 16, in 1916, he was so much fortunate to go to meet with Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, with her one of aunt, and she was the first disciple of lady disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Saroj Vasani Devi. She was also very learned, and quickly she used to make so many poems, hundreds and thousands of poems. And he was so learned that all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada used to pay respect to her. So she took with him to the Prabhupada. And at that time, at the age of 16, he offered himself in the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. He was so much influenced by the Prabhupada. So Prabhupada accepted him at the time of festival of Gaur Janmotsav and Navadvip Parikrama. in a very small scale at that time, in 1916, a beginning of Prabhupada preaching. At that time, there were no so many brahmacharis, only 4 or 5. Srila Prabhupada used to
play on gong. Gong. And Narahari Prabhu used to
Narahari Prabhu worshipping. At that time, our Gurudev. He was very soft, very beautiful, but very strong personality. Prabhupada saw him and he read everything. And he told. Saroj Vasni told that, oh, how you are telling that you will do so many mosques everywhere and preach in whole world, preaching center in whole world. How you will manage? You have no so many qualified devotees or any devotee, any Then he told that, oh, by this Vinod will control all things and he will look after all. Now I am
realizing
that he is
through you.
And see, all the mutts of Swamiji also.
Through you.
They were going to be ruined. But again, new life is coming everywhere. And all are inspired. And he is giving me so much inspiration to this whole world. I am like a very insignificant, like a drop piece of straw. But he is inspiring me to go everywhere. And all are hearing me. This is not my credit, but it is his credit. So you can imagine how bold and how powerful was he. When he returned to home after taking initiation, first initiation, Harinam, he returned to home and began to join his classes. Now he came in university classes, and he was so learned in Chaitanya Chaitamrita and all these things that at that time in MA classes also there were some classes of Chaitanya Chaitamrita and higher education. So the special teachers, they used to, very philosophers, they used to take the class. So sometimes pyar like this, Jivar Swarup hai Nitya Krishna Das, Krishna Sakti Bheda Bhed Prakash. Like this law, Vadanti Tattva Vadastam Jad Jnanam Advaram Brahmeti Paramatmeti
Bhagavaniti Sabdati.
Explain it properly. Then Guru Maharaj boldly used to stand up and, oh, can you please
explain?
Can you please order me that I should
explain?
And they used to become so much
surprised
that how a boy, and he can explain. But he used to explain in the line of Srila Prabhupada, in the line of Baladev Vidya Bhushan Pad, so boldly, and all this to be. After a time, there became a clash from them, and he told that, oh, I don't want to take all these bad philosophies. And he left. What can you
teach me?
I can teach you and the principle and all. And he left the school and he joined Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was so happy that a boy like him, he came to him. And in the day of Parikrama, on the very day of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance day, on the full moon, Prabhupada took this boy on the roof of Jogpit, Mayapur, and in evening he initiated him. So I will tell so many things in evening classes. Now the time is over. So I am giving एक सुनकर
Radhaman, there is some table inside.
So, first of all, I am offering this, and I am praying to him that you should shower your mercy. Those who have compiled, who have made,
Who help?
my darling daughter,
Ashalata.
Ashalata, and his husband,
Vallavi
and
Kanta.
especially to Rishikesh Maharaj, who brought in this so beautiful way. And those who have helped in
Everything.
auditing and all other things, Prem Prayojan, Nanda Kishore Prabhu and all others. I will pray my Gurudev to shower their, his mercy on them. So first of all, I am giving this lotus flower. He will be, certainly he will be so much happy. If anyone used to write any book, he used to be very, very happy. So he, when I translated Jaiva Dharma of Srila Bhakti Prajnana Thakur, oh, he was so happy. And he showed so much mercy to me, and that is, I am realizing. So I think that he will be most merciful to me.
Go Premanande.
Bhakti Prajnana Jaya Guru Deva, Bhakti Prajnana Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Keshava Gosvami Jaya Guru Deva, Keshava Gosvami Jaya Guru Deva. Bhakti Bhakti Prajnana. Jaya Guru Deva Sri Bhakti Prajnana. Har Param Mahanarupa Atma Vimochana. Murti Manta Sri Vedanta Ashubhanashana. Bhakti Ganta Sri Vedanta Kava Vikashana. Bhakti Ganta Sri Vedanta Ar Vedanta Samiti Dipe Sri Siddhanta Jyoti. Vedanta Arati Tomaro Tahe Hara Niravati. Arati Tomaro Tahe Hara Niravati. Sivilad Dhara Koile Dipa Papurita. Sivilad Dhara Koile Dipa Papurita. Are Rupanuga Rupe Dasha Dikaramodita. Rupanuga Rupe Dasha Dikaramodita. Sarva Shastra Sugandhira Guruna Kamala. 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 Arjuga Pata Sushabhata Vadana Kamala. Vadana Kamala. Arsharna Kanti Binindito Sriyanga Shobhana. Sharna Kanti Binindita Sriyanga Shobhana. Ar Jyotivasha Poridhani Jagata Kalyana. Jyotivasha Poridhani Jagata Kalyana. Ay Nana Chate Shoshala Chamara Dulai. Nana Chate Chamara Dulai. Nana Chate Shoshala Chamara Dulai. Nana Chate Shoshala Chamara Dulai. Gaura Jana Uchakante Sumadhura Gai. Gaura Jana Ay Gaura Jana Uchakante Sumadhura Gai. Ar Sumangala Nirajan Kare Bhaktagan. Sumangala Nirajan Kare Bhaktagan. Duramati Dura Hoite Daketi Vikram. Duramati Ay Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Sri Bhakti Prajnana. Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Sri Bhakti Prajnana. Keshava Gosvami Jaya Guru Deva. 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 Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
I was thinking that, Vijay is not here, all his friends are here. And also, I want feeling for my daughter and your brother, elder brother. He is doing well, perhaps. Very well. Now we should begin our classes. My book for my Gurudev, I get to translate Prem Prayojan, and he is doing. He will tell something. He was telling so beautiful. Okay. He should again something. We can speak again. Again, what?
The book of Param Gurudev.
So many things you are speaking, you should speak more. And then others will speak. That how he was born. Especially, he was Guru Nishtha. What is the meaning of Guru Nishtha?